Hey everybody, this is Grace, and yeah, I'm going to see how this works out. I made a little space in my this room. Some people might remember the orange, burnt yellow room. I never liked the color of. I need to really, one of these days, to paint it. And I'm going to be looking at my notes. I'll probably have to put my readers on. They call them computer glasses. They're actually prescription. I can't use the ones you find in stores, so I have to have a prescription. And yeah, when you get older. But anyway, I have various topics I'm going to do in this video, and I'm going to see how this works out. Also, I want to learn how to pause this to where I don't have to do separate clips. I'll probably have a visual effect on it. So let me see if I can try to do this. Okay, and maybe I've gotten it to work. I've changed my glasses. The topics I had written about toxic people. I just did the topics, and it was for another channel. It was for another channel, and I've gone over these over the time, but let me just throw them out there again. One is infantilization. We know when somebody treats you like a child, and that could be at any age. Most think of it as when a parent treats their child, their actual kid, younger than they are, or elders younger than they are. But that can happen at any age by anybody doing it. To me, what I have seen is a form of control, power and control over the person. And it can be very bad. It can stunt growth, emotional growth. Let's talk about emotional growth, psychological growth. It can stunt it, and yeah. And I have some thoughts I've mentioned before about, with so many, starting with the baby boomers and now the millennials, that might be a big issue. It was to me in my generation, and it may be to the millennials because there's so many of them. Again, I'm going to try to... Okay, I had to pause and go get an ink pen. I got at the desk, I got a little roll top desk and all set up except for an ink pen. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to just go over these real fast because I'm trying out, doing, me on video again. It's been a long while. Okay, let's see. My next one is interrupts you. How many of us have experienced that? I mean, seriously, this chair is going to bug me. But as soon as you start to speak, they interrupt you with what they think. It goes beyond those who I call, that they're the actually people. Like you make just one statement and they'll say actually. Like, you can say, oh, this sky's so blue today. And they'll say, well, actually, it's this color. But these will interrupt you before you even finish your sentence. Okay, yeah. I know I've experienced it. When I talk about something, I usually have experienced having somebody do it to me, or seeing somebody do it, or knowing somebody who's had it done to them. That kind of thing. And I'm not used to staring at this dot. Okay, and I also wrote very negative. Well, we know it's very negative. And the whole thing of dealing with toxic people is a totally negative experience. And it can last so long, a lifetime even. So, yeah, it's good to speak to a professional about that. And let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have to stop looking down at my notes, huh? I got to get used to this. So, again, it's been a long time. Let's see. Another one is, the ones who are dramatic, usually histrionic behaviors. I have seen some, doozies with them, that they, they always have some kind of calamity going on. I love that word, calamity. And often they create it themselves, and then they just want to talk about it over and over and over again, and they will continue to do so and not stop. I looked over there to see if I had actually paused it or not. Yeah, this is going to take a while. But they never really want it to be resolved. That's a big thing, is that they don't care to have it resolved, because it gets them that attention they want. They don't care if it's negative or positive attention, as long as they're center of attention, and they get lots of it. And like I said, they can create it themselves, and they love it just happening. They just love to create it. They might go behind the scene, do a smear campaign on somebody, and just to keep it going, or just start a smear campaign on somebody to keep it going. Pausing. Okay, I actually had written jealous, judgmental, and gossiper. gossiping. Gossips, yeah. I can't read my own writing. But, and my writing is actually quite neat. Sometimes, yeah, I do a little shorthand. I actually learned how to do shorthand when I was young. You know, that old-fashioned thing, shorthand? Yeah, I don't think I could do it now. But yeah, you know, often they're jealous of what people have. And sometimes it's, you know, I heard definitions of jealous, and I think it was actually backwards, but it depends on where you read it. But jealous is when you want something that somebody else has and you don't want them to have it. And envy is when you want what somebody else has and you don't care if they have it. Now, I've heard that it was actually originally, at least, the opposite. But anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there. And, but judgmental, I'm not sure why I wrote that, and they gossip. I guess in a way they, yeah, judgmental over what people have, and then they gossip to do their usual. And I also wrote dishonest and liars. So, well, that's kind of the same, but you know, usually involve one another. And also bulldozing. Now, I remember a time when we used to call people bulldozers, and they wanted in your life and they would bulldoze their way in it. These days they call that love bombing, I believe. And love bombing doesn't have to be for, you know, somebody who's wanting to get into an intimate relationship with somebody, a marriage or whatever, or they just want to get them for the moment or whatever it is. It can be in any kind of situation that they, well, at least bulldozers, you know, to get that person in their life. And then they feel, okay, you know, they've done that, and then they could just continue. But yeah, we used to call them bulldozers. So whatever you hear these days, love bombing, we call them bulldozers. I don't know why that changed, but it did. So okay, I had paused again, but yeah, I'd written made a list about infantilization and narcissistic rage in a dysfunctional family, which, yeah, it can be. It doesn't have to be the family even. You know, it could be parents, other adults, play the part, and they put you in, they put you in a place where they think you belong. Yeah, that's what I think I meant on there. And they treat you like a child, and if you don't obey them, yeah, they get really angry. You know, like you are their child when you can be siblings, and if you know, and adults, and both adults in your 50s, 60s, whenever. And if you don't obey them, they can get very angry. And that's the role they put you in. They could have put you in that role when you were a child, and when you were both children. Like they might be a year or two older than you, and they do that. And if you don't obey them, yeah, you know, let's see. I put siblings, any age, younger and older. Ganged up on by them. That happens quite a bit too. If you're in a family, a very dysfunctional family where they do that, you know, you're the scapegoat, as people call it, or just the one that they want to infantilize all around, you know, just treat you like a child, and they'll gang up on you to do it, and they'll remember stuff, you know, maybe it started as a child, but when you're adults, they remember stuff that happened then, and they use it. I've mentioned that recently, and I've put, best thing to do is go no contact. I'm not giving anybody advice. Read the disclaimer in the description box below this video on YouTube. I'm not giving anybody any advice. And also put no growth. So I've already been through that one. Looks like I'm also forgot one other thing. I need a garbage can for all my notes once I'm finished with them. Okay, and another one, it's about giving people second chances. I know I've gone through a stage when I would do that and give people another chance, you know, once they you know, tried to redeem themselves, but I don't anymore. I don't know how many years it's been, and that I just said no strike three kind of thing. Is if somebody treats me a certain way that's negative, no more, you know. And I cannot say that 100% across the board. I wish I could, in a way. But there was a time when I feel like when I was younger that you could, but it was probably because I was younger, that, you know, people see, okay, that's behavior's not going to work. But anyway, I don't give second chances, and I haven't for many years. And I wrote that if they think you're one to do it to once, then they'll try it again. Yeah. And I've seen that. If they think that they can get away with it one time, you know, and make all the excuses, oh, they've changed and they've learned new ways, and then they'll just do it again. Something else or the same, one or the other. They don't learn from their experiences. I'm reading my notes again. And if given one, no, I'm not sure what that's going to mean. Don't we? It is a time to be defensive, angry, cover up, excuse off. I don't know. I don't know where I was going, so let me pause it again and see if I can read this. Okay, I guess I was trying to say if you have run across this type, don't try to be defensive and angry and all that. I'm not sure. Anyway, like I said, I don't give advice anyway. Learn from it and never do it again. Yeah, or never allow it to happen. Just learn from it. So learning, a moment to learn. What do they call that? I forgot. Was that expression people use today? It's expressions that change over time anyway. And it says, I wrote, consequences to doing what you want without thinking about the other or others. Yeah, there are consequences for most people, but these days it seems like too much, at least in my world and where I live. I can't say it's across the board. I can't say it's everybody. But yeah, do people really suffer from consequences when they do wrong? I don't know. It seems like something has changed, especially the past few years. Yeah, they don't suffer. They don't have to pay the consequences for their actions when they do something bad to another or others. And they blame the victim and they play the victim. I wrote all that. Anyway, I was going to just give this a try, see how it looks. There will always be a bright light behind me because I have solar screens in my house and it makes it look grainy. And I decided to give this a shot like this. And I need to learn how to stare at that dot. But I want to give it a try, plus putting a visual effect on it, at least one. And I know that one of them, when I tried it, it messed with a lot of things. It always has a funhouse mirror look. I don't look like this. I don't even sound like this. I've said that so many times. But it did a funny thing with my teeth. It loves that. Shadows, I'm telling you. But over time, yeah, I'll have various videos to see. So anyway, I thought I'd give it a shot. Let's see how it works.